Hello and welcome to another smashing edition of Beyond the Plate. Today, I'm excited, thrilled, beyond belief because it is an ingredient in my favoriteest sambar of all time. If you're a true South Indian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if drumstick sambar is set on the table and it's finger-lickingly good, it gets polished off within moments. Now listen, it's very simple. I know of only drumstick sambar, which the British would say lentils. I want you to tell me other ways in which this healthy drumstick is incorporated into food, whether it's a main course or snacks. Yeah? So let's go.
We can use drumstick in tons of other recipes. Now, there's a great quality that drumstick has because of its fibrous nature. It becomes like a sponge. So it kind of takes in and absorbs all the flavors of the curries very easily. So even with meat dishes, you can throw in your drumsticks. If you don't want to add it with anything else, you can just make a drumstick a veggie with only drumsticks. You can add little potatoes, any amount of curry with it, in any other, along with any other vegetable. It's a great veggie that kind of complements and brings out other flavors as well. Okay, you can even do simple stir fries. When you add your other broccoli and stuff, you will never imagine that you can, combine drumsticks with Angrezi vegetables, like they say, with some mushrooms and broccoli and peppers. Throw in some drumsticks in your stir fry. It really adds a nice definitive taste. Of course, like it is used in sambar, throw it in dals if you don't want to be too experimental. But you can also make delicious pickles with drumsticks. I've eaten some. Have you ever eaten a drumstick?
No, I've never.
I'm surprised because South India, they do make a lot of pickles also with drumsticks. Again, it boils down to its spongy quality. What's a pickle? It's something which is tangy and so flavorful, so full of spices, right? This absorbs it so beautifully, so it makes it a perfect ingredient for pickles. But today, I'm also disclosing what is going to be the recipe of the week. I'm also going to enlighten people about the fact that you can make delicious soups with drumsticks. It's so, it's so fibrous and so healthy, but the taste, the actual pulp of drumsticks really contributes in, amplifying soups to the next level. And really they can't even imagine that you can make a variety of soups with drumsticks.
Wonderful. Now, just before we go into the recipe of the week, some fun Moringa or drumstick facts from Amrita.
It's like you spoke about the miracle tree. The tree is also very often called tree of life in many cultures due to its numerous health benefits. Also, almost every part of drumstick tree is edible, whether it's the leaves, whether it's the pods, seeds, or the flowers. And the drumstick leaves in particular are very, very nutritious and are used a lot in salads and soups. And I'm pretty sure you've heard of Moringa leaf.
Yeah.
And Moringa powder, which is the latest fad nowadays. That's what is made from the drumstick leaf.
And now, the recipe of the day, starring Mr. or Miss Drumstick, depending on what gender you feel like giving drumstick.
Supreme of drumstick soup. Very often people can't even imagine that drumstick can lead to a Western soup, but it is delightful. So all you do is take some butter, you melt it, then you add a little bit of ginger garlic paste, you saute it till the raw smell disappears. Then you add some flour to it. You cook off the raw smell of the flour as well, and then you make drumstick puree. How do I do it? I basically I add all the drumsticks to a pressure cooker and just give it one whistle. And all the drumsticks are nicely soft and pulpy. Then I just take out the pulp. And for this particular recipe, I make a puree with it. So this puree is what goes in it. You cook it out a little bit. Now the water in which the drumsticks were boiled, or if you did it in the pressure cooker, that water is the magic water. It's the stock of drumstick, and you cannot throw that away. That's what you use to add to make your soup. That's what's going to be the liquid element. Then you cook this nicely, add your little salt and pepper, And then you thicken the soup. It automatically thickens because we've used the roux of flour and butter. Finally, you take a little bit of this entire drumstick mixture, add it to a little bit of milk to temper the milk down. I don't know if you remember, somebody had asked, how do you add milk to soup without curdling it? So this is, again, a reiteration of that process. You take out the hot, soup from the pot. You add a little bit of that to milk. So you temper the whole mixture. And then you add that mixture back into the pot of soup. So it gets nice and creamy and milky. And then just drizzle a bit of olive oil if you like, some seeds on top, and or serve it with croutons, and there your delicious cream of drumstick soup is ready.
Onward ho to the Ask Amrita section. And it's obvious that that little fruit that you were talking about, it is so little but so divine, cherries. That episode got a lot of people going gaga. So got a question on that particular episode, and here we go with it. Have you tried any variations of your cherry cheesecake, like the cherry swirl cheesecake or the cherry chocolate cheesecake? This is Amy asking you, Amrita.
Yeah, I've tried a lot of variations. In fact, I have to let out a secret here. The cherry cheesecake that I made last time, when I have to make a version for my son, I have to puree the cherries completely. He doesn't like bites of cherry coming in his mouth. So that's the way you can just swirl some cherry in it. Chocolate is, again, a very great option of cheesecake. You can mix it with cherry or any other fruit, or just a nice chocolate cheesecake is also divine.
Susan says, how do you prevent cracks in your cheesecake, Amrita?
So, this particular recipe that I shared with you last time is eggless, gelatin-free. There's no agar-agar. Whipped cream is what really brings it all together. So the main thing that you need to do is, it doesn't crack. What I think you're referring to are, holes. So there are bubbles. There are air bubbles that get trapped in the cheesecake filling when you're, putting it in the mold. So you have to just tap it a little hard on the surface or your counter before you put it in to freeze. But, frankly, you don't really need to worry about it. Even if it's a bit holy, it's going to be as tasty as it should be.
Lovely. With that, we bring the curtains down on Beyond the Plate with Chef Amrita Raichand and me, Hrishi K, this week. We're going to see you next week, which is a question-answer special. So an entire episode of Ask Amrita, and I'm sure you're thrilled. Keep them questions coming. 9833-943-943, 9833-943-943. Bye, Amrita.
Bye, Hrishi. Just a reminder, guys, do stock up on drumsticks. You don't want to miss them right now, particularly.
94.3 Radio 1.